scenery. So here we start the highlight package. This is Hector Santa Maria ripping it, doing those futuristic turns. You know, he had a nice heat this morning.
This is the Peruvian, the defending champions. This is Carlos Maria Zapata, and this was a great wave for him, one of the highest scoring waves of the day.
Yeah, he got a second on that heat because of that. So it was a good performance for him, and Peru's definitely, you know, up there in the charts because of his performance today.
As are the Brazilians. Here we see Ian Gouveia, relative of the famous surfing Gouveia family, and slowed down here in the replay. You can really see great surfing. Next up, it was the Costa Rican surfer, Anthony Filagrim.
Yeah, Anthony was looking really good. He's one of the younger Costa Ricans, and he was really putting his board where it needed to be. And you know what? He had the backup from his country, and he was really stoked when he came out of the water today.
And this is another wave of his here. Big sweeping cutback and a good performance hard off the bottom. And Costa Rica, a great surfing nation. There we have the Queen of Panama, one of the great beauties of Panama, of which there are many. Now, this is Gonzalez, and big smack there off the top. One of the bigger waves we saw today. And this is Evan Thompson from the USA.
Yeah, you know what? USA showed some light today. They were like the silent horse, but every guy made their heat. Here's Martin Passeri, one of the Argentinians. He got second in his heat. He had a really close heat against Martin Geri. And you know what? He had some really high performance wave. He carved it really well. Unfortunately, I think Martin got the best of him, but you know what? Here he's showing up what he's got, and amazing surfing from Martin Passeri.
And nice aerial there, maneuver in on the shore break. And throwing a lot of spray, a lot of power from some of the surfers today despite the smaller conditions. And I think that was that's
Martin
Passeri
yeah,
again. So he had 2 or 3 really, really solid rides. And look at that, straight all the way into the lineup, right to the beach. Now, this is Martin Geri from Peru, I believe.
Yeah, Martin Geri, this was the same heat as Martin, and you know what? He made it hard for him, but that first scoring wave really donated what he needed, and some of these waves didn't have a lip, and you know, he got the best of him at that first wave, and he backed it up with a better score. So Martin showing a great performance here, and yeah, it was a close heat.
And nice, he really milked this all the way through onto the inside, and just kept his board moving this wave, just winding its way all the way down the beach here at Playa Vanal. It just kept going and kept going. It was more like a river mouth break or a reef break. And again, right to the sand, just stepping off here. Would have been right near that tree. And again here, staying really busy. And here we go again. One of the surfers that seemed to get just wave after wave, and great projection.
Yeah, Peru showing a strong one. Here is Brazilian surfing, Rurat Caballero, and he was really smooth and showed some great poise. He was really stoked and excited. You know, I heard his interview, and the Brazilian guys are really stoked to be a part of this whole thing. And there you go, that progressive surfing combined with a smooth style going right through that Brazilian flag. It was a great performance by him.
And of course they have Silvana Lima on the women's side, so this is a very strong team.
Yeah, he was showing some smooth lines, and I love it when surfers combine that smooth surfing with the futuristic stuff and, that progressive surfing. So Brazil showing that they're coming seriously to do some damage.
Backwards, forwards. Next up, Justin Mojica from Venezuela. The Venezuelans were impressive today.
Yeah, the Venezuelans are here. They have a really tight team. Their coaching's on point. They actually have somebody that's like a physio guy. They are serious. They have a lot of charisma. He's been living in actually, wow, that was epic.
He'll need that physical treatment after that one.
Yeah. So that was Justin Mojica.
That was our Republic of South Africa representative there. Now, this is
Adan Hernandez. Take it away.
Yeah, Hernandez here from Mexico, one of the most progressive young surfers that we have seen. And look at that, into a nose pick, reverse, and watch this turn here. Boom! Throwing the tail and coming out clean, brushing the hair out of his eyes, riding up. And this hit is very exciting.
Yeah, I remember this heat. He was trying those maneuvers, and at the end, he pulled it off in this wave. getting that high score and getting that heat win that he really wanted. He's one of those guys, he'll try it till he does it, and he exclamated right at the end of the heat and got that heat, under the bag for himself.
That was the incredible crowd that was on hand here. The sun came out and really lit up this lineup this afternoon.
That was Jonathan Chila on the last wave, and now we have Chase Wilson. Take it away, Marky.
From the USA here, and a young USA team, but very capable, working this the way through. Not as much energy as some of the surfing that we saw from the Latin American surfers, but they're nice layback slash toes, solid surfing from one of the biggest surfers there.
Yeah, here's Magna Martinez on one of his right-handers. He got second in this heat. His wave selection was kind of okay, but you know what? He's the type of guy that uses his strategy. He knows how to get his points across, and here's Magna Martinez just closing it down right on the inside.
And again, risking life and limb in the glory of your nation.
So this is David Godoy, and I remember him doing those grab rail cutbacks. It was pretty impressive to see the young kids, trying that styly, carvy surfing. So David Godoy from Panama doing a great job today.
And there we could see the flag of Venezuela flying high. Next up, Marco Giorgi of Uruguay, and that was one of the best maneuvers of the day.
Yeah, definitely. Marco Giorgi showing it up. Giancarlos Gonzalez from Panama slicing it up here. You know what? He did really good in this heat. Unfortunately, he didn't make it, but as you can see, he caught one of the better waves of the day, and he just got edged out by his fellow competitors.
Next up, Chris Waring of the United States, one of their most experienced competitors.
Yeah, Chris, smooth style, man. This guy really, I think United States was like the smooth operator today, and they executed beautifully. Francisco Bellorin, this was a really particular heat. He came up at the end, and they had a last-minute score change, and the South African looked like he won the exchange, but Francisco Bellorin came up on top and won that heat. So it was really cool to see another Venezuelan just go up.
And there we can see finishing up here on the inside of this wave. And it was just great surfing throughout the entire day. Of course, finishing up with the last heat was won by Nathan Hedge of Australia over Gary Saavedra.
Al llegar a Panamá, tiene que conocer la península de Azuero. La gente es muy amable y cariñosa y le invitan a conocer todo su folclore y sus tradiciones, como los bailes típicos al son de la mejorana y el bailar de la pollera. Toda la belleza que imagine está cerca. Qué rico bañarse en sus playas, surfear, poder ver tortugas y observar toda su belleza. Recorrer Azuero es disfrutar la vida. ¡Venga ya!